end of the meeting then. Okay.
Yes, I think that was also part of what we used to do before. If there was something of value to the item, right, attorney, we would at least have it agendized and then have it still approved by the council, right? Or just the group?
I'm not sure if I quite understood.
Oh, okay, so we
the
could
last part of that.
agendize it as a new business item.
So what would happen at the new business item would be a discussion to put an item on a future agenda or to do something short of that.
For a future agenda. But for right now, the minutes, which of course, last week I had to sign that it was approved, was the item that was approved. But that's a very good point. We should consider that. Thank you, Attorney Critch, and also for that. So I have feedback, right? Roll call, would you? I can hear myself.
There's no motion yet.
So, can I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from August 28th, 2024?
August 28th.
Done about Mr. Gupta's
But the recommendation from legal is to take it up as a new business item at the end and to discuss what to do further at that juncture.
I will take it up at the last item. But right now, I would like to, who gave me the motion to approve? Commissioner Calkins, and it was second by Commissioner Galang, right? And then now we're taking the votes. So again, roll call again for clarification for the vote.
Commissioner Kong,
Aye.
Commissioner Culkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Gupta,
Aye.
Commissioner Awasti,
Aye.
Commissioner Galang, and Chair Albana.
Aye, thank you,
Thank you.
Ms. Liz. So our next agenda item is announcements from, any announcements from the planning commissioners? Planning director, please. No comment?
Good evening, commissioners. If there are not any comments from the commissioners, then I do have a couple of announcements. I'll do a quick one about the next meeting and then get to the next one. Just to remind everybody, the meeting of October 23rd has been canceled. So the next meeting will be November 13th, tentatively scheduled. And now we have our Assistant City Manager, Matt Kano, here to give an announcement on Measure J.
Oh, there we go. All right, thank you. Just had to push the button. Thank you, Director Lee, and appreciate a few minutes of your time, Commissioner, Planning Commission Chair and Commissioners. Thank you very much. Again, Matt Kano, Assistant City Manager. We are sharing this information with all the city commissions and wanted to make sure we're sharing it with you as well. I am here tonight to provide you a very, very quick educational and informational update on Measure J. Measure J is a City of Milpitas Public Services Reauthorization Measure that has been placed on the November 5th ballot unanimously by the Milpitas City Council. It was placed on the ballot after receiving several months of community feedback on priorities for our residents. If it's reauthorized, Measure J does not raise taxes in Milpitas. It simply continues the existing quarter-cent sales tax that Milpitas voters already approved in 2020. So the two would not overlap and it would not increase taxes. If it is reauthorized, the measure would continue to provide approximately $7 million annually of locally controlled funding that can be used to maintain Milpitas' local services and quality of life. Items that can continue to be supported by this funding include, but are not limited to, street and sidewalk and pothole maintenance, maintaining neighborhood police patrols, maintaining on-duty police officers, and maintaining our excellent rapid response times for police and fire 911 calls. Measure J would continue the city's longstanding commitment to fiscal transparency and be part of annual financial audits. And by law, it would be locally controlled by the city of Milpitas, so it cannot be taken by the state or other entities. If no action is taken, the city will lose this local funding and may need to reduce and cut basic services affecting our quality of life, our ability to attract and retain local businesses, and achieve and our ability to achieve long-term fiscal sustainability. As you know, there are also other items on the local ballot for the city of Milpitas. The mayor's seat is up every 2 years, and it is up this year. There are 2 at-large city council seats that are up for election, and the Milpitas Unified School District Measure Q is on the ballot as well. Registration to vote, hope you're all registered already, but if you're not, it closes on October 21st, and the election is scheduled for November 5th. This is not an agendized item this evening, so we don't have ability for questions right now. But if you do have any questions, you can reach out to me. There's additional information on Measure J and a postcard in the back that you can take on your way out. And I've also left copies of my business card. So thank you very much for your time this evening. And thank you for allowing me to provide this update during your announcements.
Thank you very much. Planning Director, anything?
No other announcements.
No other ones. Thank you very much. Our next agenda item would be our public forum. Let me read this declaration. Members of the public are invited to speak on any item that does not appear on today's agenda. Comments may be limited to 3 minutes or less at the chair's discretion. When called to speak, you are encouraged to state your name for the record. As an item not listed on the agenda, no action can be taken. However, the Planning Commission may instruct the staff to place the item on a future meeting agenda. Is there anyone from the public?
Chair, I have not received any speaker cards for public forum.
All right. There having none, do I have a motion to close the public forum?
I'll make a motion to close the public forum.
Thank you, Commissioner Calkins. A second from Commissioner
I'll
Kong.
second.
Thank you. Vote, please.
Thank you. Commissioner Kong,
Aye.
Commissioner Colkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Gupta,
Aye.
Commissioner Awasthi,
Aye.
Commissioner Galang,
Aye.
and Chair Albana.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Liz. Let's proceed to the next agenda item, our public hearing, which is item number 9-1, the Altitude Trampoline Park. And Mr. Randy Bias will be presenting, our project planner, to present it. Is he online? Yes. Good evening, Mr. Bias. How are you?
Good evening, Chair. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you and good evening, other commissioners and fellow staff. Next slide, please. The applicant, Guru Murari, representing Altitude, has applied for a conditional use permit to operate an entertainment use known as Altitude Trampoline Park in a vacant retail space at the Great Mall at 147 Great Mall Drive. The project is located along the northeast quadrant of the Great Mall. The Great Mall is a 1.2 million square foot indoor outlet shopping mall on a 99 acre site. The proposed entertainment use would be within a 28,500 square foot tenant space previously occupied by Bed Bath & Beyond. The tenant space is located here across from a parking structure and adjacent to the Legoland Discovery Center. Next slide. The site is located within the Milpitas Metro Specific Plan area. The specific plan designation is Boulevard Very High Density Mixed Use, and the implementing zoning district is Metro Very High Density Mixed Use, or MXD3 Metro. The project site was previously zoned General Commercial, or C2. Next slide, please. Altitude Trampoline Park is an indoor entertainment facility that offers a wide range of activities for all ages, including trampoline dodgeball, jungle gyms, activity rooms, fitness classes, and open jump areas. Altitude operates a chain of similar indoor facilities throughout the country at over 100 locations. The project seeks to meet the growing demand for indoor recreational activities within the area by promoting physical activity, social interaction, and entertainment. The project seeks to operate between 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Next slide, please. Here's the proposed floor plan for the project. Features on the floor plan include slides, jungle gyms, other activity areas, a kitchen, restrooms, and 5 party rooms. The next couple of slides will showcase examples of some of these activities. And here are some of those activities. At the top, we have the free jump. The bottom left shows the jungle gym, and the bottom right shows the bounce, run, and battle beam. Next slide, please. The top left shows the dodgeball area. The top right is an interactive activity called multi-ball, and the bottom shows the multi-sports and power strike areas. No exterior modifications are proposed as part of this project. Next slide, please. Staff believes that the project meets the conditional use permit findings, which includes how the use will not be detrimental or injurious to property, improvements in the vicinity, nor to the public health, safety, and general welfare, as well as being consistent with the Milpitas general plan and zoning ordinance. Our findings can be found in both the staff report and resolution. Staff worked with the city's police and fire department teams to condition the project in a manner that allow the entertainment use to operate in a safe and secure manner. Next slide, please. A notice was published in the Milpitas Post, and a sign was placed near the front entrance of the building. The city also sent out over 6,000 postcards informing residents and property owners of the project. And to date, the planning department has not received any comments for the proposed entertainment use. The project is considered exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act per CEQA guidelines section 15301 and 15183, as the proposed use will occupy an existing building suite where another retail use was previously operating. Furthermore, the proposed use is consistent with the general plan and zoning, since the proposed entertainment use is within a commercial shopping center. Therefore, staff recommends the Planning Commission open the public hearing to receive comments, move to close the public hearing, consider the exemptions in accordance to CEQA, adopt resolution number 24-031, approving conditional use permit number UP 24-0004, subject to the findings and conditions of approval. This concludes staff's summary of the project. The applicant's representative, Guru Murari, and myself are available to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you for that. Is there anybody else who would like to do a presentation, maybe from Mr. Murari here? Good evening, Mr. Guru. Oh, you have to press the button to make it there. There you go. Oops, there.
Is it? Yeah. Good evening, Commission Chair. Randy, if you're able to, is it possible to do present on the screen? Randy has a presentation.
We have the renderings in front of us being presented. Do you also want it up there on the big screen so we could follow?
Or I can, yes, that's much.
Okay,
better,
let
please.
me
Thank you.
have IT help us with that.
So I want to take just a couple of minutes to make sure that basically what exactly altitude and how much excited we are and how we're going to be like kind of a great contribution to the community, and also right how we are kind of excited to get this project onboarded into the Milpitas community. So first thing is altitude is more than over 100 locations throughout the United States, and right following basically each and every location was successful, and making sure that they're kind of providing all the fun, right? Not only to the kids at the age of 3 to 14, but also to the whole family as in a get together, as in a physical fitness activity, and also extending as a great fun, right? Even including any kind of a team event or a corporate event or a sports team event, right? Which is combination of all the kids having in a certain place where they can have their great fun. And our simple agenda is Altitude Trampoline Park is only 3 words: active, family, fun. That itself, actively, we want to engage each kid, getting away from the screen and getting the family together and enjoying the fun all the time. This is a 3 simple major goal principles, right? And coming to the attractions, what we are seeing in the rendering, this is what exactly like kind of how we want to present, how we want to build over. So is in the starts with the main jump. That's where it's a main jump is a trampoline having a continuously physical fitness activity. Along with that, there are a couple of augmented reality attractions which are kind of a motion sensor activity associated. And the next thing is associated with the stunt fall, where kids gonna have the fun with the trampoline, with jumping into the airbag. And the next activity is associated with the multi-activity, the 3 activities within the same, which is a battle beam and a monkey bar and ladder activity. And the next major activities are 2 sports courts, right? Having how much we are into the indoor space, still we as an Milpitas, right, we would love to play the sports into the thing bringing over. That's where we added additional kind of, right, having that motion, having that fun to be carried over, combination of basketball and soccer, right? And the next one is a digital sports courts. That's where like you feel like basically how you are carrying over stroke where score over. That's where it is a digital sports court. And again, for the specific kids, small kids, it's a soft play activity where it is at the corner. And the next one is a multi-ball, which is an interactive sports wall. And all the way this corner having ending with the slides. So, and other than these attractions, a couple of major things wants to bring over, right? Bringing over the staff associated with the training, all the way from the general manager to the assistant general manager and court monitors and the leads, right? And following each and every training associated with the safety principles, ASTM guidelines, and the CPR certifications, and then first aid certifications, and then injury-related postmortem report, right? Each and every activity following the whole process, we do have an establishment. That's the one beauty about to probably can engage over here today. So yeah, pretty much from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Guru. Any others from?
Yeah, Robson from Simon Properties.
Okay.
Good evening. My name's Robson Souza. I'm the general manager for Great Mall. I'm here in support of this project with Altitude and have been working with them through this conditional use permit application process. This project is near to me because in my previous center I also helped open another trampoline park, happened to be Altitude as well. At that point in the Atlanta market, they were backfilling another altitude or another trampoline operator that just didn't make it. And these guys didn't just come in and remend everything and try to just polish it and reopen. They cleared out the entire space and built from scratch. So at that moment, I kind of understood that they were serious about their business, that they're serious about their commitment to the community and the partnerships that they build within the communities. So luckily, I have landed at Great Mall about 2 years ago. And with this project, taking over a previous Bed Bath & Beyond space, this entertainment really falls in line with the Great Mall and really helps further diversify our offerings. You may recall earlier this year in February, my colleague Jocelyn Gubler was here in support of the escape game. So this really helps us move the center and the property forward. As she mentioned, it's an ever-changing landscape and challenges come our way, but finding partnerships in these operators that are local, willing to put in the work. They, collaborate with the school districts and any support that they can provide and hire from within the community, they're willing to do so. So, and, happy to address any questions you guys may have from a mall operational standpoint, or Guru may address any questions you have specific to the attractions there.
I may have one. You mentioned that you already have another site, right? That's altitude.
Correct. So in the state of Georgia,
In
at my
Georgia.
previous center, there was an altitude. Now, it was a different franchisee, not with Guru, who's here present today. Guru franchise, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he covers the California market for altitude. So that's where he's working and focusing to expanding this concept. And thankfully, they had chosen our sites, and we just look forward to getting this project getting done. And thank you for your consideration.
So in the South Bay, we are the only ones that's going to have this open here in the South Bay.
Guru, you have a second location?
Yeah, South Bay, we do have not my location, but it's an altitude front. Recently opened one in San Jose.
In San Jose, yes. So one last question, I was just wondering. So in a very high active hour of the day, about how many occupants or people will be inside, from kids to older ones? On the high end, like the high hour activity.
It's basically for each attraction, we do have a specific count where we're going to allow, whether even how busy it is, how busy not is. So basically for each attraction, we have a specific count according to the guidelines. Those are the count we're going to be allowed within the park.
But for the whole capacity, what is the occupancy, that total occupancy?
So at this point is a numbers where it's less than 200. But again, architect is working on according to the plumbing, according to the building, according to the fire egress exits. All he's doing, he's working on the calculations to submit to those calculations.
Super, awesome. That's exciting. Commissioners, any questions for the owner?
I had one kind of for Simon Properties. I was just curious because you're in the, close to Dave and Buster's, right? At that end of the malls where you guys are at, right? You said Bed Bath and Beyond, or yeah.
Yes, yeah, they're several hundred feet apart, maybe 200 feet or so.
So do you talk with those guys? Because it's almost, you could collaborate, with Dave and Buster's, because a lot of the people that go there too. I was just curious if you collaborate with the other members within the mall for these kind of things to get feedback from them as well.
Absolutely. We strongly encourage the partnerships between tenants. Dave & Buster's is actually very supportive of this project because the uses are complementary. An interesting factor of the Altitude Trampoline Park is that they have membership services. So kids are able to come and jump once a day, every day of the week. And I know this specific use was highly requested by the general public, and just comments and feedback ever since there was a small stint of a Bounce-A-Rama within the center, right? So we're lucky that we're able to actually expand, and this is a little bit more than twice the size of that space and a brand new facility close to Dave & Buster's. So they're definitely supportive and see it as a positive to that quadrant of the center.
Commissioner Kong?
Yeah, I have questions regarding the operations. So in the, do you actually divide out sessions as far as like free play for younger children compared to adults? Because you did mention you want to encourage family interaction across a big age group, but at the same time, there has to be also consideration for the safety when, especially dodgeball is a very high intensity game. And if you're putting adults with young children, there's going to be bound to be maybe injury that may occur. So how do you operate this, program that you're putting out to make sure that it addresses safety, at the same time still encourage cross ages fun?
Yeah, great point you brought over. Thanks, Commissioner. Basically, right, if you see in the attraction list, we do have an attractions where, let's take in a sports court, right, which is one way of the intense fun game where usually kids gonna play. We do have 2 sports courts exclusively with the digital sports courts and with the regular multi-sports ball. In the multi-sports ball, we want to have the younger kids and then basically, right, younger, basically, generation. And then in the kids wide, we have another digital sports court where should have the more fun, not the intense thing. That's how we separated for each activity. And even, right, for the trampoline, for the attraction wise, we have a bigger kids to play on the main trampoline, but at the soft play, we do have a small trampoline and also soft play. So we categorized basically to have their safe environment. And also one more major important thing what I want to bring over is we do have a court monitor for each attraction, so that the court monitor basically when they're playing the dodgeball, making sure that kind of in the right age kids gonna be competing each other, and also to support them and to have that game conduct to like a sport following the sport spirit basically. These are all the safety guidelines for sure we are following.
Okay, great. And also along the lines of safety, about hygiene, do you also require that everybody purchase like a new pair of socks before they jump on this facility? Because I do see that being practiced in a lot of trampoline parks.
Right, absolutely. We are following the same thing, and we are making sure that whoever entering into the platform, it needs to be have their socks basically.
But brand new socks,
Brand new
right?
socks,
Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question follow up on the kitchen. I think I did see on the floor plan, you're going to have a kitchen and eating area.
Yeah,
What do you
cafeteria, yes.
plan to, serve there? Is that going to be, like a full service, or is it more like a quick serve type of,
It's like a food
beverage?
service area exclusively for the kids, where they're gonna have their where they're gonna have their lot of fun basically, exclusively with the ice creams and drinks and the basic snacks associated, right? Which can easily make and which can easily serve fast basically. It's just a basic cafeteria what we are planning to do.
So quick serve. Okay.
Quick serve.
All right,
yes.
thank you.
Commissioner Gallant, please. Yes.
Hi, Mr. Goro, I will call you Mr. Energetic.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, in order to, like, if I bring my kids or grandchildren, do I need a membership? Yeah.
So membership is good to have. What we want to promote is basically whoever comes for an hourly play, we do have an hourly member passes basically where they can able to engage for just for 2 hours subscriptions. But we prefers to have to go for the memberships where they can get the additional advantage throughout the month without the same cost of membership. Basically, our intent is to bring each and every kid, not to limit it as a one-time activity. We are promoting, we want them to be continue or to come to our park, having to have their physical activity, having their fun. Basically, that's the motto.
So you have a individual family membership?
Yes, we do have.
Corporate membership?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say my first day, which activity should I start? If let's say new, I don't know about trampoline, that's Paul. What do you suggest for new beginner, new customers?
So again, it's the definition of our business itself is altitude trampoline park. Everyone will starts with the trampoline and jumping in the activity, right? And after some time, then they're going to be stepping into the next attraction, basically, right? Every kind of in a span of 2 hours, right? So it's expected to be kids to generate kids is expected to have a fun 2 hours within the park. Basically, every attraction they have then basically continuing over, finishing the main jump and going to dodgeball, playing for 15 minutes and going to sports court, right? How they are basically, it's based on group of the friends who are coming over there to have a fun. That's how it's going to be continued.
So in every activities, how many guests? Let's say in trampoline, what's the maximum?
So basically in the trampoline, we do have each block basically. So each block will be occupied by only one kid at the same time. So that's how it's going to be calculation number of kids per each attraction.
So, okay. How many staff do you have?
So we plan to have for each attraction, we're going to have an own court monitor who going to guide them and also who going to help them out in learning the court rules. Basically for each attraction, we do have a specific rules and tagged over there. The court monitor will help the kid to understand the rules about how to play in specific attraction.
Okay. So what type of fitness classes this type? What type is that? There's a yoga or?
So it's more than a yoga. Basically, the kids having a kind of an younger kids basically, right, along with the regular going to school and physical fitness activities. Basically, the fitness classes will be conducted. So what I mean to say is in a simple language where kids are having a great energy, but like parents are kind of in a parents are in working on their how to engage their energy. So that's where these fitness classes, it's more than in the training the whole game. Basically, they try to be more active, how they can be active using the, and also they will to get out of the fear. That's kind of a fitness classes.
Okay. For the kids, if you bring my kids there, do I need to be present all the time, or can I leave the kids and come back?
We want parents to be in the park at each and every time, basically. So by kid itself is not able to step into the park. We want the adult who gonna be signing up and who gonna be kind of, right, to step into the park, the kid to be step into the park. That's what the rule.
Okay. Okay. Can you show me the slides, or I'm just concerned about there's stairs in the middle. What is that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there's a stairs. What is that for? I'm just curious. You see this?
I'm still
The
waiting.
blue one. Yeah, in the middle, there's a stairs. What's that? It said there's a basement. What is that?
I just want to see the reference to answer correctly. I don't want to,
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the slide to show up.
Okay.
Yes, please. Is the blue one which you are referring to?
Yeah, there's a stairs in the middle. But is that?
Yes. So basically, what's that activity, right? That's called activity called as a stunt fall. So what it means is on the platform, again, you have in a high-rise stairs, basically to take a stairs and jump from that, right, where you see like a two heights, right, two different heights. So kid can jump into the airbag. That's the airbag it is there.
Okay.
That's a purple color one is the airbag.
Are they safe?
Yeah, absolutely. These are the safe, and these are at a height of 3 feet height, right? Basically, and this is one of the very most interested common activity throughout the country. So we are kind of bringing over same attractions which kids are loving, and basically all considering all the safe and measurements, basically.
So all your staff are trained. If there's a let's say broken whatever, they're trained to.
Yes, absolutely. That's one of the main activity, right? So during our hiring process, and we are hiring the staff before 2 weeks we open. So within the 2 weeks, our goal is to get trained by each and everything with the combination of AGM and GM coordination. They're going to be going all the complete, the corporate training, ATP corporate training. We have a list of all the training courses where they need to follow. And also the specific team members from the corporate going to be coming to our park and training each and every staff, right? Which all the principles, safety guidelines, ASTM guidelines, CPR certifications,
yeah,
right?
good.
With all this combination.
Yeah, thank you. You answered posed my question about CPR. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Galang. Yes.
Thank you.
We're also concerned about the details of this because we will help promote it, because I believe what people also look towards the city of Milpitas is, hey, what's the destination in Milpitas? So this is a very good entertainment. Is it, Commissioner Gupta, please?
Okay.
Good evening.
Yeah, I think it's a good addition to Milpitas. Overall, it's a very good idea.
Thank you.
I was also concerned about safety, so I think a question may have been asked, but maybe I'll ask more directly. Will you have somebody on staff for CPR?
Yes, absolutely. Our AGM and our lead will have the CPR certifications.
Okay.
All the time. Yes.
So I read online that some of your stores nationwide, some of them had that issue, safety issues.
So more than it's a safety issue, right? Maybe it's one of the incident happened in one of the park, but we made it as a mandatory to be available, the basically staff to be trained with the CPR certification.
And some first aid and all that if required.
Yes, yes. Before even they start on the first day. That's the plan. Yeah.
Okay. Also, I think some of the places have some additional, maybe I missed it. Do you have, for example, zip line as one of the sports?
We are not doing a zip line. Yes, zip line is a great attraction. And again, it's a space, right? In this accommodation space, whatever all the list of the best attractions, what we are accommodating.
So you're not planning to do that?
Zip lining is not there. In
okay,
this
that would have been a nice adventurous addition.
Yes, yes.
What about wall climbing? Do you have that?
No, wall climbing is also not part of this attraction list.
Okay, you have so much space. I mean, you should be able to come out with these real exciting features.
Yeah, absolutely. And only the reason is we are picking like whatever the most best attractions. I know each attraction is getting excited and it's always going to have a lot of fun. And we just as a part of a team, as a part of corporate, as a part of, based on the kind of survey what we took over. So these are the list of the attractions. But we would love to have in the future. But at this point, these are the list of the attractions.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Any other questions, commissioners? I was going to say, you will have a lot of tenant improvements. One of it would be the HVAC to pump in more oxygen for their energy.
Yes, absolutely. So the good thing is even the existing space has a great infrastructure previously. That's one of the things is we are allowing it to be open. So yeah.
With regards to the restaurant, a kitchen, I would say, so basically it's just going to be like a cafeteria, maybe pizza, sandwiches.
Yes, that's right.
I see.
Pizza, sandwiches, and basic drinks. I see, Coke and yeah.
Yes.
I have one kind of fun question.
Please.
So at my age, I don't plan to be there actually using the facility. But at the same time, so can somebody who is not using the facility, can they go and watch what's going on with other people?
So first thing, there is no age limit. Still, you have a lot of fun to come over there. That's one thing I want to correct on that. Sorry. So you have a great fun to play over there, to play a basketball, to play soccer. Still, you look so energy. I'm just letting you know that. But still, you want to spend time sitting over there. Absolutely, you do have all the TVs are focusing on the channel news and multiple things where you can watch over your kids, where you can watch over all the fun. So yes, you do have a seating space.
But can I just go and watch somebody who is not actually participating can watch?
Yes, absolutely. So every parent to the kid is going to be as accommodating as a complimentary. So
okay, all right.
Now I'm concerned. So you allow people to walk in even though they have no, they're not participating in the activities, but you just allow people to walk in and walk around and observe and interact.
That's what I was asking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
kind of
where
now a safety concern.
No, that's where I corrected, right? When someone wants to step into the park, they need to accompany by the kid who wants to be a member in that park. So that means, suppose if I have a kid, my kid is playing, yes, I don't need to be basically, I don't need to play myself, but I can sit over and watch over my kid and spend some time until my kid finishes his activity. But if I'm not having my kid with me, so I can't be able to step into the park.
Okay, thank you. That's where I was concerned because when Commissioner Gupta was suggesting that he can go in and observe,
okay.
I was presuming that he's going in alone, not participating in that activity, and it might kind of raise concern for other parents if, random adults and stranger can just go into the activity area.
Understood. No, it's not. Yeah. Thanks
Okay.
for.
I think you were a little vague as like a politician. So
Any comment at Commissioner Awasti?
Yeah. First of all, this is a great project. Thank you for bringing your business here to Milpitas. And there'll be a lot of employment and hopefully local employment. People can walk over. And I'm very grateful for a representative from the landlord to come and, justify your being here. A lot of landlords don't do that. And thank you very much, sir, for coming. And so to be open to any questions we might have. So if landlords and tenants, both of them take interest, it becomes very, very easy. One of the things, the kitchen, as you said, are you going to be cooking over there? There'll be some cooking, or you're going to get from outside? And my second question will be, are you going to allow outside food to be served or only whatever your kitchen makes?
Yeah. First thing, thanks for the comment. Absolutely, from the landlord perspective, right? More than our interest, I see Robson is part of each and every of our planning, each and of our area of activity. We are proud to have that kind of a support from the landlord. One thing for sure, I can say that, right? And coming to, thanks for appreciation, bringing the Altitude Trampoline Park into the Milpitas. Even we feel so excited, right? And coming to your two questions, right? First question is about the kitchen, basically what kind of food we cook. And so there is no specific like a fresh food cooking. It's all the time is only like a kind of a basic pizza and sandwich and kind of, right? And wings and fries, right? Whatever the kids loves the food, that's what it is. And the second thing is basically we are not allowing the outside food except the birthday cake, where they can have the birthday parties. Only the birthday cake they can bring over from outside. That's the only one thing where we are allowing.
And secondly, bouncer, we used to have Bouncer Rama here and it closed. You're kind of not exactly there, but similar. So, have you done your research why it happened? We want you to succeed. We want
Yes,
you
yes.
to
So,
thrive. You'll be bringing employment. You'll be giving us taxes. What else do we need?
absolutely right. Before even we are kind of considering this place, and we are being into the research basically why it's got failure and what is the difference, right? So one thing, right, comparing to the franchise versus an individual, right? In the bounce run, if you see each and everything is inflatable, basically, right? And it has a limit time of basically where you can have the fun by yourself. But with these attraction, if you see a wide variety of diversity of attractions, where the having a soft play, having the interactive wall, having the trampoline, having the sports experience with the sports courts combination, and having the aero trike, having the dodgeball, having the slides, and also with the combination of the augmented reality and virtual reality games. So this wide variety of attractions makes each and every kid to be stay more than 2 hours. Wants to even right before you want to pull out the kid from the park. Of course, you're gonna feel sad, but it's again part he got to you, right? So that's kind of an engagement. You see the difference comparing between the bounce run versus altitude trampoline park. And also, right, trampoline parks from the day one to day today, we are continuously engaging into the advanced activities where it's basically kids going to be more fascinated, kids going to be more having a great fun comparing to the other activities. So that's what it's planned over. And the good thing is, as Robson mentioned, this is where we got even considered. It was in Atlanta, Georgia, right? Which altitude trampoline park was replaced by the some other park, basically some other like a bounce run, which was not successful. But right now, today, the same location, altitude trampoline park, is top 5 of the whole trampoline parks within the United States. So that's what the difference it brought over. And
If I may add some comments,
please.
sorry to interject. Just to kind of some clarification for the comparisons with Bouncerama as well, aside from what he's already clarified with the inflatables versus whatnot, there was a bit of degree of separation between that Bouncerama project and the landlord. That was actually part of a Burlington space that was subleased to Bouncerama. So we really had limited involvement in that development. And it really wasn't to the caliber of what Altitude offers, being a nationwide player. So they've been able to really digitize this, attraction and really take it to the next level to attract, today's kids' attention, which can be short at times, right? So they've found ways to kind of gamify the trampoline experience. At times they'll have wristbands if they're playing part of a game where it can track their scores and they can compare and be excited about it thereafter. So, and to his other example, at my previous center over at Sugarloaf, it was a previous Jump Street was the trampoline park there. So Altitude took over and cleaned the entire space and built from scratch and has significantly turned things around. So we strongly believe as landlord that having an active operator that's there and committed to, the success of the space and not absentee and really is making, the connections with the community and wants to spread the business and also teach and grow managers that could be straight out of high school and whatnot, and really be that engaged, really just goes a long way. So we've seen it happen in the past, and we're certainly sure it's going to happen here as well with how active they've been.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just had another question. It's a little different. Sometimes the adults they get overwhelmed. I've seen it used to happen in Bouncerama. So the kids, sometimes they get scared. There'll be one gentleman, he would like to just be on the trampoline or just on the slides with the little kid at all times. The kid may be crying, but he is more excited than the kid to go up and down, and the other kids they kind of fall. So is there any age group where you let the adults also jump with the little kids and not make them uncomfortable at the same time?
Excuse me. So one thing is the age group is in between 3 to 14 years old. Basically, it's a kind of a most engagement activity, right? Again, your point is correct, right? When you are kind of like a small kid, like a 2 years old, 3 years old, and you're trying to make him fun, and you're going to be participating as an adult, basically. Yes, for sure. That's where we do have a different set of attractions, where for the small kids and where for the younger kids too. So that's one of the activity. And also court monitor is always there and to have a conversation, to have a kind of right to help him out basically what's the situation. So that's part of the training activity where he's going to be engaging with the parent.
So, which means that there will be a court monitor for every game in the facility?
Yes, for every attraction.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
with us.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So one additional question, how long do you think it'll take for you to build the place and start the operation?
Basically, we are working on the building permits to submit to the city. So at this point, we are aiming for Christmas, right? Again, fingers crossing how soon we open. We are going to be so excited.
Christmas this year, right?
Yes, year.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And also I noticed you injury on your hand. Is that through one of the trampolines or what happened?
No, it's not with the trampoline. Me and my kid, I have 7 years old kid. His name is Ansh. And kind of, I was super excited. I was training him baseball and kind of asked him to hit hard, but I didn't expect it hit hard on my finger. So
okay.
it was a good game. He learned the game, but it was bad for me.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kong.
I have one last two questions, I
Please.
promise. So I know you're dealing with you're a franchisee, and then you did mention there is another location in San Jose. How does the master franchisor make sure that you guys are not you guys are able to thrive individually and not compete with one another, since you're offering the same product to the customers?
So good thing is the distance wise, right? We do have a scope. Basically, the Milpitas city itself is a kind of a very large amount of opportunity where it can have itself, right? And this the other location in San Jose, which is more than close to like a 10 miles away, right? Which is a long distance, and that's a one thing. And the second thing is absolutely right. We have a great collaboration, more than a competitive, and we are a great collaboration, being a part of a corporate, being a part of franchisee, and even team group is other franchisee. They are very good friends of ours basically. So we are even in our promotion or in our marketing strategies or in our anything like events associated to promote schools or to promote corporate, we are planning to do together to get both benefited.
That's
as
great.
a complementary.
That's great to know. And do you mind sharing with us your background a little bit? Have you done this youth entertainment activity business before, or is this your first time venturing into this space?
Yeah. So one thing is I'm engineering manager by profession myself, basically. More than 16 years I'm working as into IT as an engineering manager, right? And this is my kind of an recreation and sports. This is my second engagement. I have a sports club in Tracy, which basically we are the only one sports club in Tracy, which is a multi-sports club. And that's kind of experience what I do hold. But also I want to bring over, before even stepping into this franchise, I traveled to 84 locations throughout the United States. Only to work with altitude is my best option. I traveled to 84 altitude locations to speak to each franchisee owner and understanding myself, this is what I want to do bigger. So that's where the state, I am so excited, and whole state we are planning to build more and more.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for that answer. You make us really confident. You do.
So why do engineering managers and technical people move away from technology and do these fun things? What's the reason?
Again, right, even though we are calling as a recreation, but this whole technology is involved in this augmented reality, virtual reality, the IT system, the POS, each and every activity is indirectly is an IT, right? That's where, right, when we are working as an engineering manager, basically we are working on a product which kind of, right, where we don't know how we're going to take that product. But this one, we are involving into the same IT activity, but kind of we are promoting the products where I'm passionate, where I'm involving on daily basis, right? Having the product experience and also bringing the technology experience into the picture. So it's I feel that it's more complementary what I'm trying to do. That's where I'm enjoying myself.
Good.
Thank you, commissioners. That's wonderful, because then we feel that that's also the success we will be able to share with you. And the city, of course, is proud of that. And we, give all our best to you, and especially for the Great Mall. That whole Great Mall is something that supports our metro plan, the zoning and everything. So it just is a good match and a good thing. Commissioners, any other questions or
Yeah,
any?
a quick question. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. the daily, I know you have to make a profit, the rents are there, everything is there. The daily pass, which you said for 2 hours, and the monthly pass, how expensive is it going to be? And can the general public afford it? Or are you going to have concession for some kind of students from the high school or the elementary or other schools who may not be able to afford the kind of money? So is there any help available? So everybody kid wants to be there for their birthday or enjoy.
Yeah, so I want to answer in two ways, right? One thing is we are very, very affordable, right? In a simple language, I can say like most of the parks, what we are promoting is basically our memberships are $29.99. That means even if the kid comes every day and if he enjoys 2 hours in a park, all he's paying is $1 a day. Basically, that much is affordable. That's one thing, right? And coming to voluntary, for sure, we do have basically the collaborative fund where we want to provide to the school funds, having the school events, and where kids itself not able to contribute, not able to provide. Absolutely, we want to be promote those or support those basically activities. Yes, that's a part of Altitude Trampoline Park Corporate, and we want to follow that same policy.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that's reasonable, very reasonable. Thanks.
So at this time, commissioners, if there's no other public comments, maybe I'd have to have a motion to at least. Oh, there's one more? Okay, please. Go ahead. Then we open. Okay.
Hi,
Can you mention your name, please, for the record?
my name is Mohana Deshmukh, and I'm a resident of the communities near Great Mall. And I am concerned about how the council is protecting the interest of the residents around the Great Mall. I understand that Great Mall is a great place for business and for families to get together, but there is a whole community that lives around it. And so I wanted to understand, is there a problem?
No, go ahead.
And I wanted to understand what the council and the Milpitas city will do to protect the interest of the people living around there. Specifically, I think my question is, the team has mentioned that the business will be open on weekdays till 10 p.m. and weekends, that is Friday and Saturday, till 11 p.m. That changes the traffic pattern around that and the noise that creates for the community, right? So what is the thought given towards that? That would be one of my questions. And then the other part is, what are the future plans that the business has about any outdoor activities? Great Mall has been having activities outside for this last 5-6 months, and it is extremely noisy and uncomfortable for the people who live around, but no action is taken, no monitoring is in place. So I want to also understand if the business has plans for having outdoor noise, music, anything of that sort, and then what would the city do to again protect the interest of the people who live around there? And then finally, how will the city monitor the compliance of the business, which means that they close on time and that the disturbance to the community is minimized? Those 3 questions.
Thank you for your questions and your comment. We're here for the item of approving the Altitude Trampoline Park. We have heard your comments. So thank you for that. Do we have another card? Yes.
Based on that question, can we probe a little bit further from the applicant?
Attorney Critch.
Yes, we're still in the public hearing. You're
Exactly.
absolutely allowed to ask any
Oh, okay.
questions of the applicant or the planner.
Okay. So one question comes up as a result of that comment. Closing at 10 p.m. on weekdays and 11 p.m. on weekend. Isn't that consistent with rest of the mall, at least a lot of other places in the mall?
Sorry. It is consistent with some specialty uses of the mall, specifically the theater, Century Theater, which would be the closest to that nearby community. The Outback Steakhouse restaurant is in that corner, as well as Dave and Buster's. This specific space is several hundred feet past the Dave and Buster's, so a little further from the community than Dave and Buster's currently is. And Dave and Buster's hours, I believe, are slightly longer than what's proposed here for this indoor operation.
Okay, thank you. So one other question related to that. I assume there is no outdoor activity this business is planning to have, right? I mean, it's all indoor.
For Altitude, correct. It's fully indoor.
Yes.
So there are no outdoor activities for Altitude Trampoline.
Okay. So I think those two questions take care of the complaint, I think, addresses the complaint.
Yes, as related to this,
Okay,
permit
thank you.
application, certainly.
If I can just ask one more on top of Commissioner Gupta, do you plan to beef up security staffing, especially since that now there's going to be addition of the escape room and then Altitude is coming, and kind of increasing the number of businesses that's going to be operating late? Will there be an increase in your security staffing so that way we can ensure if there's any commotion that happens in the parking lot that might disrupt nearby residents, those will be addressed effectively and immediately by the security staff?
Absolutely. We certainly take these new operators into consideration. We have 24/7 security on site. We also have the Simon Operations Intelligence Center that fields and routes all of our calls. This is a 24/7 operations center that monitors over 100 Simon properties. They have access to all of our cameras, our radios. They're in constant communication with our local security team. We also have a police substation there on site. So while we expect tenants to kind of address security concerns within their spaces, we certainly supplement and offer guidance on how they could take proper action while we manage the common areas, which would include parking lots, common areas, halls of the center, and all other aspects. So we do have Allied Universal as our security contractor to handle that matter.
Thank you. And hopefully the resident feels comfortable knowing that there will be on-site security 24/7 to address issues.
Wait, just a minute, please. Go. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm sorry for the interruption.
That's okay. If there are any further questions, I'd be happy to address them.
On similar lines, when we talk of security, you have you just mentioned you have Allied Security, private security firm, which I guess takes care of the entire mall security. And we also have a police presence, a police booth over there. We still have it, as you mentioned.
We have a police substation, which is
Substation over
directly next to our security office in the building. And we also have a police agreement with the city where we have full-time officers at the mall essentially every day during operating hours. We meet with police regularly, I would say about every other month, on upcoming, events, activities inside the mall. We do pre-holiday meetings with them and, take their recommendations seriously. And they help us execute a pretty, strong Black Friday weekend and through holiday. We hire traffic management control vendors to help us when there's, flow of holiday traffic. So we certainly do everything we possibly can to make traffic flow efficiently and make sure that everyone's abiding by their lease terms, which require them to operate specific hours. So we have security monitor to ensure tenants are not opening before they're supposed to be open or not remaining open beyond their hours as dictated by each lease and as requested within their applications.
Yeah. When you have a full-fledged security, why do you need a police presence over there for all times? And secondly, does the taxpayer pay for that or the mall security pays for that? Mall pays for that?
Certainly. So most of our centers elect to offer police substations that we build and pay out for the officers to be on site, because not only being the social epicenter of the community also brings a lot of traffic. Our security officers are security officers, so they're not there or able to make arrest. Our partnership with police has been able to help thwart a lot of the organized retail crime that's happened in our market. So our relationship with Milpitas Police, as well as their relationship with CHP, has resulted in harden our target over time. So we really value that relationship. As concerns to the police agreement that we have in place, my understanding of the history is that it stemmed once Dave & Buster's opened in the early 2000s. The city required the center to go under contract and hire police officers full-time to be at the mall. My understanding of that contract still stands. There's been, revisions here and there, but that we pay for those services directly.
So there's the taxpayer is not paying for the police services over there.
My understanding, no. So at least, from what I've gathered from the contract. So the contract that has been in place over 20 years or so hasn't been handled locally. It's been in place prior to Simon's acquisition of the center, when it was the Mills Corporation and the original developer in 94. And we've carried on and, improved it when requested, and made any modifications as recommended by the police department.
All right. Yeah. So the only reason I asked is that you are one of our best tenants here, the biggest tenant, but the taxpayer should not be paying for something for a private enterprise. So when you already have your security guard.
Excuse me, Commissioner.
So, Commissioner Waste, I do want to point out that I want to make sure that our discussion focuses on the approval for this specific project and doesn't go too far afield to other kinds of topics that aren't on agenda.
Thank you. So, Commissioner Galang.
Yes, my concern is the parking. And on Friday night and Saturday night, you said this business open until 11 o'clock, right? And we all know that the Buster and the theater, they open late on Friday and Saturday. And also, especially holidays like Thanksgiving. We all know that shopping malls busy during like shopping, November and December. Do we have enough parking space for that area?
Yes, absolutely. So we have over 6,000 parking spaces, and we meet the current code. I understand the code will be changing soon to a maximum allowance. We don't intend on reducing our parking capacity, because we also want to maximize not only the shoppers that are coming to the centers, but how efficiently we're moving that traffic along. That is why during the holidays, we elect to hire traffic control management professionals that keep the flow going. We partner with the fire department to ensure they have access and right of way to address any emergencies on site, and also with police, and which help us in public works. They actually extend some of those egress traffic lights leaving the center to ensure we're treating the traffic as best we can.
So, okay, thank you. They said until 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock means all the staff should be out the area, the altitude, or they can stay a little bit longer. Is that how that thing? The operation is till 11 o'clock, right? In Friday and Saturday, and they can stay until 11:30 to clean up their facility, or
Sure. So as the proposed hours and what the lease language reads is that the business operations to customers close at that time. Whatever closing procedures or expectations a tenant have of their employees, they're able to fulfill that during that time. We always caution tenants to, try and do as much as they can prior to open, because at the same time, we expect our security vendor contractor to ensure the building is clear and safe. And that also means, waiting until some of these last tenants are leaving. If they're doing any stocks or deep cleaning, or if there's any potential work happening overnight, we want to ensure we understand who's in the building and ensure they're authorized to be there.
So which entrance are open until 11? Which entrance are open until up to 11 o'clock?
So those tenants that operate beyond the mall interior hours have their own exterior entrances, such as the theater, Dave & Buster's, Outback Steakhouse. The flexibility we're able to provide for this specific tenant is the entrance number 5 being open and available for the customers that will leave until they close.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners. Maybe at this time we would have to.
Quick question on the traffic. Are you once in a while I see that the traffic gets backed up, which is good. The business is thriving. Not complaining about that. But are you planning? I see there is one multi-level parking which you added. Are you planning to add some more with the increased businesses and increased traffic for the convenience of shoppers?
Not at this time. As we see it, we really don't peak or really fill out our parking lot until we're into the Black Friday weekend and through the year end. And those are the times that we elect to hire the traffic control professionals to help us. In between, we may have some weekends where we get, close to 75, 80%. But we haven't reached those capacities in any other time. Now, that wouldn't keep us from, if we see a specific period where the, region is hosting, let's say, the World Cup or something that's just going to dramatically increase the traffic, we can certainly elect to bring in the traffic control professionals to assist us.
Thank you very much. So commissioners, at this time, we would have to, since there's no other, we'll have to open it for public forum. Since there's none, maybe I have a motion to close the public forum.
I'll make the motion to close the public forum.
I second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Kong, and the second from Commissioner Awasti. Vote? Yes.
Commissioner Kong,
Aye.
Commissioner Culkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Gupta,
Aye.
Commissioner Awasti,
Aye.
Commissioner Galang,
Aye.
and Chair Albana.
Aye. Thank you. Commissioners, we have already heard the whole night that it's a wonderful thing that this particular altitude trampoline has met all the provisions for their conditional use permit, like the proposed location is not detrimental or injurious to property, that it's consistent with the Milpitas general plan, with the Milpitas Metro specific plan, and consistent with the Milpitas zoning ordinance and the rest. So do I have a motion?
Okay.
I can make the motion.
Okay, Commissioner Gupta.
Make the motion to approve. That is adopt resolution number 24-031, approving conditional use permit number UP 24-0004, subject to the findings and conditions of approval.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Calkins. Second by him. Vote, please.
Commissioner Kong,
Aye.
Commissioner Culkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Gupta,
Aye.
Commissioner Awasti,
Aye.
Commissioner Galang,
Aye.
and Chair Albana.
Aye.
Thank you.
Congratulations and thank you. for this initiative.
Congratulations.
So this time, our item number 10, new business. I'm going to ask the help of Attorney Christopher Creech to proceed with our next appointing 3 members to serve as the Planning Commission Subcommittee.
Thank you, Commission. As by way of introducing this item, years ago, we established the zoning administrator as an office to carry a lot of functions that the Plan Commission Subcommittee used to have. And that was done so that there could be more regular meetings to speed up timelines and to reduce administrative effort. But in that process, not every single duty that was in the Plan Commission subcommittee was removed from the ordinance. There are efforts underway that may achieve that sometime soon. But for the time being, we do have we have one item that's presently ready for that Plan Commission subcommittee, as well as some other items that may be coming in the future. And so we are looking to have 3 members of this body nominated and appointed to serve as the Planning Commission subcommittee for a period of about 6 months to fulfill those roles as we have those projects coming up. So my recommendation for how to conduct the procedure for that appointment would be to have a nomination period. Any individual can nominate anyone, including themselves, and can speak briefly in favor of that nomination if they so wish. Whoever is nominated should then have an opportunity to accept or refuse that nomination. And then we'll proceed until we see no more nominations. We will then go into a voting period by which we will do voting on the nominations in the order that they were nominated. You should vote for only those 3 nominees who you would want to appoint the Planning Commission subcommittee and vote nay to any others. If 3 members do not get a majority vote at the conclusion of that, then we will return to step 1 of a nomination period. I forgot to mention in there that after the nomination period, but before the voting, there would obviously be an opportunity for public comment. I don't imagine there would be any. There'd also be an opportunity for discussion among the commission as to any nomination if you so wish.
I do have a question. So what is the overall time commitment? You think, how long you think for the subcommittee, how often they have to meet, and how many projects are you expecting?
So these subcommittees, the subcommittee would meet on an ad hoc basis, so meaning as needed. So it's difficult to give a specific number, unlike the Planning Commission where the schedule is very regular. I will say the 2 categories of projects that we primarily see that the subcommittee would review would be minor conditional use permits and modifications to existing entitlements. The latter is not very common. And then the minor conditional use permits are a little more common. I might just a guess would be like a handful a year. So it's hard to say, but hopefully that gives you an idea of the commitment. But also with these meetings, there's a little more flexibility on the time at which we can hold these meetings. So, it could be after work hours, it could be during work hours. It just depends on the 3 members of the subcommittee, and we could find a time that works for everybody. So a little more flexibility.
Every week or every couple of weeks? I didn't get that.
No, it would be on an ad hoc basis. So it would probably not be every week or every other week. But it just depends on when we can find when we can schedule it accordingly with the 3.
Will this still be a public hearing?
Yeah, yes, the items that go before the Plan Commission subcommittee are still public hearings.
Oh, okay.
I have also clarifying questions. Does it require a quorum to meet?
Yes,
So minimum 2.
correct.
Okay. And even though this is like a subcommittee, does it have to be in person or does it allow online conferencing?
It does with state law have to be well, it is a body that's subject to state law restrictions. And then it is a body subject to the city council's restrictions about virtual comment. And the consequent result of those 2 things for this body would be in-person meetings.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Attorney Critch, I had a question, and Jay, who were the ones last year? Were there also 3?
I don't believe the Plan Commission subcommittee has met in a very long time.
I see.
I mean, if I understand correctly, possibly multiple years.
Attorney, I think I remember this years back. There are always 2 on the meeting. You said the 3rd one is the substitute unless.
No, so for this, the the number of members on the commission can vary. I think the last iteration of the commission had 2 members. The recommendation that I would make is to have this body have 3 members. And the reason for that is because if one member cannot make it, you don't have a quorum. Moreover, if there's any disagreement among a 2-member panel, neither can make a motion that can succeed. And that's inefficient. It's more productive for discussion and being able to have a back and forth and to have a principal disagreement of views, to have a 3-person panel.
I think my suggestion is Wednesday. I think the best day, like 1 hour before at 6 o'clock in the evening, and then 7 o'clock planning. That was before our schedule. So
I think, and that may be something that the subcommittee decides on. Again, it would be up to staff and the subcommittee to work with the schedules of the members selected. This would be a body meeting on an ad hoc basis, as consistent and can be accommodated by the membership.
And usually it is held downstairs,
Downstairs.
right? At the, what do they call that?
I think,
Conference room.
right, I think it's done in the community meeting rooms typically.
Oh, community. Okay.
downstairs, right?
No, community in the
Which could be-
Milpitas
No,
Community Center.
no, the
Committee conference room. There's a committee
Oh.
conference room on the first floor.
The first floor. And it usually is about an hour and a half.
That's why I would imagine. I don't expect for this commission to have multiple items on one calendar. That obviously depends on when projects complete, and that's always variable.
Attorney Critzo, can a nomination say all the 3 names at the same time or one at a time?
I think the best way to do it is to have nominations one at a time. I think that would be more efficient.
Right.
Are there any other questions about process or responsibilities before we get into the nomination period?
Is this by voting?
Yes, yes. So the table's open now to somebody. Would you nominate the first? We're nominating 3 people.
I will make that point of just before we get into the voting. Again, there's both the expected volume over a year that I think we've talked about, but as I said, and I do want to highlight it, there is a likelihood and a chance of us moving to fully transfer these duties all the way over to the zoning administrator, which means that this body may not be serving for the entire 6 months period. It depends on when those efforts get completed.
Oh, thanks for that clarification. Yeah, I heard that you said at least 6 months, but it will get transferred, right? Would be.
Correct. If we were to make that change, it would be a change that would come to the planning commission to approve. It would then go to the city council for their approval. Once they approve it, it would take effect. And at that juncture, then the roles would transfer. So there would be a process timeline on that. That's why we are looking for a 6-month appointment. But it may not be a full 6 months.
And to add a little clarification, that change where we would potentially move over the duties, all of them to the zoning administrator, would happen with the comprehensive zoning ordinance update, phase 2, which we've discussed. So that's really when it could change is with that project, potentially.
So, Director G, just in case that doesn't happen, when does the term end for the subcommittee?
It's stated in the agenda, which I want to.
Sometimes in 2025, 6 months.
6 months was just a likelihood based on when the transition was going to happen to the zoning administrator, right? But if it doesn't happen, then does the term continue?
So the answer is no. The term is until April 30th of 2025. At that juncture, if the services of the Plan Commission Subcommittee was still needed, then we'd bring another item to appoint members for another term. So the commitment on accepting a nomination tonight is until a maximum of April 30th, 2025.
Quick question I have. When you say there'll be a zoning administrator, are we hiring a new person, or it is within the department that somebody is being promoted, or?
No, the zoning administrator is a currently existing role. It's the planning director.
Okay,
And so he is the one who performs that role. Essentially at I believe it was about 5 years ago, I think in 2019, there was a decision to transfer those roles, to create this new role of the zoning administrator, to transfer most of the roles and responsibilities of the planning commission subcommittee to that role. There were just a few of them that didn't get transferred. And is in all likelihood, we'll be bringing an item to fully transfer all of those duties over to that role.
oh, thank you.
Attorney
did-
Gallo, are you still going to say something?
sorry.
Okay.
I don't see any other questions. So if there's no objection, then we'll proceed to the
I think
nomination
we want to
period.
stick with the question so we don't have to go through the rest of the process.
So I think we should move into the nomination period now. If anyone that wants to nominate a member, please activate your light. You can nominate anyone else or yourself.
At this
Commissioner,
time, I'd like to nominate Commissioner Calkins. Commissioner Calkins, would you accept?
on behalf of me, myself, and I. Sure, yes.
Thank you.
I would also like to nominate Commissioner Kong. She's itching over here to be part of this group.
It looks like it. Are you willing to serve? Are you accepting it to the nomination?
You're going to prove him right.
Yeah, I'm going to prove him right. Yes, I will.
Thank you.
That was a yes.
That was a yes. Yeah, can I nominate Mr. Gupta for the third position, please?
Are
I'll second
are you
that.
accepting? No, are you accepting, Commissioner Gupta, the nomination and willing to serve?
I guess since the other two people on the team I like personally, so I'll take it off.
Thank you. So we'll take first the vote for,
Well, first are there any other nominations?
are there any other nominations? Seeing no other nominations, we will proceed.
So then the next step would be to take public comment.
No public comment. So far, nobody's here.
No
Um,
public comment.
And then
The comment. Thank you, Liz.
I don't think our IT director is going to make a public comment. And then the next one be discussion, if any, and then someone can make a motion to call for a vote.
No other discussion, right? So let's call for a vote for,
I can make a motion to call for a vote.
yes. Second by Commissioner Galang. Motion by, of course, it was motion by Commissioner Awasti. So let's take a vote. This is for the nomination of,
No, this was to
Vote.
vote on the nominees.
so the first nominee
No, this is to take a vote.
for
on
all the
no-
three?
On all three. We'll do the three in order. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay,
You're closing the discussion period. That's what the current vote is on.
okay. Closing the discussion period.
Commissioner Kong.
Say aye.
Okay, aye.
Commissioner Calkins.
Aye.
Commissioner Gupta.
Aye.
Commissioner Awasti.
Aye.
Commissioner Galang.
Yes, of course.
And Chair Albana.
Aye.
Okay. And then for the procedure that we had talked about, we're going to vote on the nominees in order that they were received. So that would be Calkins, then Kong, and then Gupta. So starting with the vote for Commissioner Calkins.
Commissioner Kong.
Aye.
Commissioner Calkins.
Aye.
Commissioner Gupta.
Aye.
Commissioner Awasti.
Aye.
Commissioner Galang.
Aye.
And Chair Albana.
Aye.
Next is Commissioner Kong.
Commissioner Kong,
Abstain.
Commissioner Calkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Gupta,
Aye.
Commissioner Awasti,
Aye.
Commissioner Gulong,
Aye.
and Chair Albana.
Double I.
Okay.
And then Commissioner Gupta.
Commissioner Kong,
Aye.
Commissioner Calkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Gupta,
Aye.
Commissioner Awasti,
Aye.
Commissioner Gulong,
Aye.
and Chair Albana.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioners Calkins, Gupta, and also Kong. Double I. Yes, 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 yes. Where we go now? Okay. So will we take up the topic we discussed earlier for make it 10-2 to agendize next meeting?
Yes, so what I'd heard from so Commissioner Gupta, this was the item that you brought up. Because it obviously isn't on agenda, I want to make sure that we stay within the confines of what we can discuss at tonight's meeting. There is a potential for a proposal for a vote by the commission to have staff bring back an item for discussion and perhaps approval of changing the way in which we do minutes for the Plan Commission. That's certainly an action that you could take tonight to direct staff to come back with such information and discussion and an action item, if that's what you wanted to do. In terms of providing you with information which you can decide on that, what I would tell you is that the City Council, as well as by our other ordinances, has approved a summary meeting procedure. So for instance, for the way that the City Council works, it's summary meeting minutes expressly in their handbook as being summary minutes because of the presence of the recording. A member is allowed to make a motion and then with the approval of the City Council direct for a summary discussion of an issue to be put into the minutes. But that's a specific action that the City Council must take. Similarly, a member can ask for their statements to be summarized and to be included in the minutes, and the City Council can vote to have that included in the minutes. But those kinds of more detailed minutes are things that the body actually has to vote on and direct under the procedures that the City Council follows. Other commissions, and that's every single commission, including the Planning Commission, follows an even more limited and streamlined procedure. So under the Planning Commission bylaws, what it directs for the meetings to include are the actions, the resolutions, the votes by the board. That is the actual actions by the body itself. The comments and positions taken by individual members, not necessarily something that would occur in the meeting minutes as they currently exist. The meeting minutes can include some kinds of factual information that are brought out on the record and oftentimes do. But for instance, something that you might see in the last meeting minutes where we had a public hearing item and then a study session item is that the public hearing item has more details about factual items and questions that were asked and the answers given to record that information in the minutes. But then for the study session item has almost no discussion. And that's because in a study session item, the body does not take any action and the minutes reflect the actions of the body. But for instance, when that study session item and what the Planning Commission discussed at that study session item was brought to the City Council for their study session, staff included a full summary of what the Planning Commission said, including concerns raised by members as to parking related issues, as to the survey that was conducted. There was a full summary of what the different members of the Planning Commission expressed as different concerns or ideas so that the council could be fully informed. And that became part of a record, but not as the minutes of this body, but as that item that was brought to the City Council. So the point that I would make to all of that is that the meeting minutes serve a particular function under our ordinances. There's always a kind of difficulty in creating a summary of discussion kinds of items because summarizing complicated comments or summarizing the flow of discussion in a body is oftentimes difficult. And so it can be problematic to staff to do that, as well as being time consuming. That's part of the reason why that that change was made when we switched to having recordings and undertook the resources to make those recordings available online, open to the public, hosting them for as long as we do. So those are the factual information that I'd provide to the body, so you can address the proposal in front of you currently. The recommendation that I would make is instead of, you could obviously vote for staff to bring you back an item. It might be more advantageous for members who have concerns about the level of information being provided in the minutes to have discussions or briefing with staff, so staff could see what they could do at the staff level in terms of improving the meeting minutes. And then if there were still concerns, we could bring back an item for formal policy making by this body. So I guess this is not a recommendation, but perhaps an idea, which is rather than direct an item, instead have some preliminary comments with staff, and staff might be able to accommodate that without an official policy change and the time that it would take to do that.
So Attorney Critch, what I have some thoughts is, if we do receive a comment and if we see it has quite an impact on the item that's agendized or our approval that night, is it we are able to say something like, we take it into consideration and we will take this up and with the staff, city staff, to reconsider. Meaning, how do I say this now? Well, basically what I'm saying is, it has nothing to do with the minutes. It has something to do with what we feel could be a consideration to be considered before giving them their conditional use permit.
So if I understand your comment correctly, in terms of the usual process by which the commission conveys the substance of its reasons or items that it finds significant, as stated in the Planning Commission bylaws, the intention is to do that on the oral record. That is for commissioners to be speaking out about items and facts, so that becomes part of that recorded record. And the recorded record serves as that to highlight those discussions in that record of factual information or pertinent considerations or other items that were of importance to the commission. So that would be the ordinary way in this works. What we're talking about here is separate and apart from that record that's being made orally and completely, what the minutes should reflect. And I guess the point that I'm making is the way that the minutes are supposed to function as currently adopted are to record the actions, the votes, the resolutions of the body, and not of any particular member, because the decision by the body is done on a whole and is not dictated by any individual member's comments or even a majority of the individual members' comments.
Right.
I'm inviting other comments. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna, I don't know whether how deep we can discuss this today, since it's not big agendized, but have we looked into a transcripting function or feature of a meeting? Because video is very difficult to really capture or search for critical information, especially when we see, like the last meeting, we had a lot of discussion regarding the community survey responses. We spent a lot of time discussing it, but for it to be captured in just like 3 words, it doesn't really capture the essence of our discussion. So if there is a transcript function, a feature that can be part of the video that is being recorded. It allows people to really look back in a more precise way than just watching the whole video. I mean, that's just one thing. Another one is the rise of AI tool. I mean, there's a lot of AI co-pilot and all those stuff that can generate minutes really quickly without additional staff time. So I'm not sure if any of this can be in the consideration when this item is being discussed in detail.
So I guess the point that I would make on that, and I do think it's a question for a procedural related question, if I understand it. Proposals by this body, so it would be an item we'd have to agendize if we wanted to bring, send proposals to City Council. Approval of having some kind of a transcripts for hearings like the Planning Commission, or utilizing AI tools for that purpose or similar related purpose would be a decision beyond the scope of this body. It could be a recommendation that you could give to the City Council, but to make that recommendation, we'd need to agendize an item for that. Yeah, if that was something that you wanted to do.
So just to kind of restate what I was getting at, for example, today's meeting, I don't think any of the questions or discussion that happened was something of significant nature, and to the extent that we need to put in the minutes, because there's nothing, something, there's no red flag, so to speak. If there was a red flag, they're serious enough that maybe even though we don't take a vote on it, but at least if seemed like more than one person is saying it, and perhaps that could be captured. But today, I don't think in today's meeting there was anything like that. For example, if we believe that they should close at 11 p.m., they should close at 10 p.m. If that was somebody raised and there seemed to be some level of consensus, then I think should be recorded in the minutes of the meeting. But that didn't happen. There's no red flag today.
So I do want to limit it because obviously we don't have a discussion item agendized. The only point that I'd make again, and it's to assist the body in deciding, or assist the members in deciding if they want to bring a motion tonight or not, is what is significant to the body can be complicated and may vary by member. And so, for instance, the City Council's procedure is if they have discussion items that they want, then they direct it to be put into the minutes. Those minutes are brought back in a summary. The council at its next meeting can approve those minutes and decide if it wants that summary or wants something else. They could say at that time, staff, we need you to bring back stuff that captures X, Y, Z. So that's the process that they utilize. The point that I would be making is when a direction is given to staff to summarize significant points, that can be difficult because it can depend upon the member. The City Council's process is one where the body makes those decisions, both the original decision to ask for a summary and then approval of whatever summary is given. I don't want to go too far afield on this because this isn't an agendized item. If anyone wants to bring a motion to see if there is a quorum that wants to bring, a majority that wants to bring a discussion item back on this, we could do that. Again, what I would encourage the commission to do is for commissioners to talk to staff about potentials for improvement. And then if there's additional improvement needs to be done and direction that needs done to this body, then to make a motion at that time. But it's obviously up to all the individual members of what motions they want to bring.
Can we make a motion to staff to ask them if they've looked into some kind of transcript software? Because then it's easier to do a search, for words and things like that, like Commissioner Kong was saying.
So the potential, what new business is for is to direct staff, if approved by a majority, to bring back a discussion item on some topic. So If anyone has a topic that they believe, yes, I need staff to bring back an item on this topic, they can propose it. And if the motion carries, then staff would bring that back.
Also, to clarify, we could also have this discussion with staff outside of this meeting as well. Right? Just
Correct. So the point is no one has to bring that motion in order to start discussions on a topic. Any commissioner is allowed to discuss with staff, and staff can make whatever changes they can make at the staff level. And if whatever changes they can make at the staff level are insufficient, then it might warrant a member bringing a motion to put something on agenda for additional changes or a further discussion of what more can be done.
Maybe we need to do some homework. We'll maybe as individuals, maybe look at how some of the other cities are doing in terms of minutes of the meeting. I do have contacts with a few other commissioners, and perhaps there maybe, let's see what other people say, how they're doing it. Perhaps there could be a creative idea to at least have some kind of a middle ground here. I mean, the staff can also do the same thing, find out from other cities.
So at this juncture, what I'd say is if anyone has a motion to agendize an item, you can bring it. If folks would like to have discussions with staff or take other actions before bringing such a motion, you obviously are free at a later meeting to bring such a motion.
You know, at this time, I would say that we could keep our thoughts and our plans for the future. And obviously, there is a process for the minutes of the meeting. If the commissioners don't know, after our meeting, after this, the next day, the city makes me e-sign what was discussed. However, just for now, as I think Attorney Kritz had mentioned, individually, we can even ask the staff and check on that. Because basically what we're saying is the Planning Commission is a recommendation body. We review, we ask questions, so we research, we ask the planning, whoever is presenting, have they done their work? Have they done their homework on zoning ordinances? But with extra comments and all of those from the impact that it is for that agendized item, you know, we have also the capacity to recommend to hold off and not approve it if we feel there is an impact. However, as a recommending body to the council, but we're talking about the minutes, right? So if you want, we can do our homework and then not have to agendize any of these things and then maybe come up with an idea next time. That'll be okay. But that's a good point. These are good points. So we just always have to learn. We have to expand the use of technology and AIs and all of that stuff. That's a good point. But I think for this evening, we don't have to make a motion to agendize anything. I mean, that's me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Business, the topic to really be.
Chair Bond is the presiding.
The new business category. I'd like to bring up the short term.
Just give me the topic. What's the topic about? Just a word. Oh, then that has to be agendized in our next meeting. Yeah. Attorney Fritz.
So we couldn't discuss ideas or proposals for Main Street. If there was an agenda item that you want, the purpose for this time is to propose agenda items that if the majority of staff approves, could be placed on a future, sorry, the majority of the commission approves, could be placed on a future agenda. So if you have something that you want to propose, you could propose it and then make a motion to set it on for staff to bring it back on a future agenda.
So it relates to going forward. What do we do on the Main Street? What type of projects we accept for Main Street? We want to accept projects which are suitable for downtown, which means restaurants and retail shop, and not have all the other types of businesses. So the agenda item is what types of projects we will accept, or the planning department should accept going forward for Main Street. So we don't end up with car washes and just pure condominium buildings and stuff like that. We need to have more restaurants. We need to have more retail shops, so that in the future, over time, it'll become more like the Main Street, which we all want to see.
Planning director might be able to comment.
Yeah, what you're talking about is directly related to the Gateway Main Street specific plan. We held a study session on that with the Planning Commission a while ago, I think before your time, but we are working on the plan right now and should have a public draft in the next couple of months. And the public draft will address exactly the comments and the concerns and the topic that you're bringing up. My recommendation would be we kind of already have that as an item that we want to bring to the Planning Commission to discuss anyways. So I don't think it's necessary to add it as an extra new business item. But we can also communicate outside of the meeting as well if you have more thoughts about that, because we are currently working on the plan. But if we want to bring it back as an item, we do plan on bringing back the entire plan and a draft with details about what uses are permitted by right versus minor conditional use permit versus conditional use permit, what isn't allowed. And I would say so far we are thinking along the same lines as some of the brief comments you've made, but just my 2 cents about that.
I think that's fine. We'll wait till you bring it up. Hopefully, we are sort of aligned on that in terms of what should happen.
I think, Jay, we were also discussing that with the advisory, right? The zoning advisory. We had like an overview with that, right? So
it's similar, except the Gateway plan focuses on Main Street, but the other project is citywide.
Yes. Because I'm with the advisory, zoning advisory committee, so we see all of that. And then remember, we both attended the economic commission meeting, and that's very exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. So nothing else. So for the new business, we don't have anything else. No other items. Let me read this declaration. Any person aggrieved by any final decision of any board, commission, or department head of the city of Milpitas may appeal to the decision of the city council by filing written notice of the appeal with the city clerk within 12 calendar days of the date of said decision and paying the required fee. This time limit shall be strictly enforced. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion by Attorney Calkins, a second from Commissioner
I second.
Gupta. Thank you.
Commissioner
Vote.
Kong,
Aye.
Commissioner Colkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Gupta,
Aye.
Commissioner Wasti,
Aye.
Commissioner Galam,
Aye.
and Chair Albana.
Aye. This meeting is adjourned.